Hi everybody, hope you're okay. Back to giving you my weekly update from my garden today, as it's such a nice day. First things first, housekeeping. Thank you is really all I can say with regards to the housekeeping down at the club. Thank you to everybody that has adhered to the rules of rejoining the club. And thank you to everybody that has brought a non-member for paying your non-members' fees. Nothing more really to say upon that except thanks, really appreciate it. From tomorrow we're starting our new singles box league and ladder, so when you're down there you'll be able to see in the main notice boards everybody that's entered, and at the end of the first week I'll be updating it with the points as to who's played, so get stuck in if you've entered those box leagues with the rules that you've been sent. Again, thank you to Di Morris, who is doing the ladies, Danny Magona, who is doing the men's, and Tim Slater, who is also doing the men's, and I'm doing the juniors. So get stuck into your singles. Have a watch of the little video I've done with regards to singles and the tactics and movement and what have you, because you might find something quite interesting there. The next thing is that you can have a game of doubles from tomorrow. Following the government's lift of restrictions that 6 people can now meet, the Lawn Tennis Association have just set out their latest guidelines. So I'm just going to read you a couple of things in particular with regards to the guidance. The tennis section will be sending out a newsletter over the next day or so, couple of days, putting it in writing, but as of tomorrow you can have a game of doubles if you want. So first things first, I'll just read you from, with regards to the facilities remain closed. The toilets at the coded door over this week will be reopened, but the house officer, Dave Meredith, and myself are just in the process of making sure that we've got everything in place from a policies and procedures point of view, from a risk assessment point of view, from a hygiene point of view, and from a re-cleaning point of view. We've just got to make sure we've got everything put in place before we are going to actually reopen the toilet. So please keep going to the toilet before you come and have your game of singles or doubles now. But over this coming week, we are envisaging being able to open the men's and ladies' toilets in that coded main building. That's with regards to facilities. The main club, the one where you need a key to get in, that's not being opened. Where the bar is, that's not being opened yet. Tennis players, the main update, everybody. You can now, in your game of singles or game of doubles, choose if you wish to use one set of tennis balls. Okay, the guidance is now that you don't have to just use your own tennis balls and then put them away when your opponent has to serve. You can use one set of tennis balls for your game of singles or game of doubles. That obviously then brings it on to the fact that the importance of having some type of cleaning aid for your hands when you've finished. So your hand sanitizers or your gels, very important that you keep them on court if you are going to share your tennis balls. Benches, no, benches aren't being put back onto the court yet. Obviously I've just said that you can play singles or a game of doubles. Both singles and doubles play is now permitted with people from outside of your household, as long as you remain 2 meters apart as far as possible, meaning that 4 people from different households can now play doubles. Coaching I'll get onto in a minute. Obviously the social distancing, you're allowed to obviously shout at your partner if the ball's going down the middle as to who's going to go for it, instead of going and clashing. Have a bit more communication with each other. That's the main update with regards to playing. With regards to coaching, it obviously means that I can now have up to 5 people on a tennis court with me, because I'd be the 6th person. I'm not changing anything this week. I've got people booked in for coaching this week. I'm not going to be putting on any groups this week. I am a bit more comfortable with having a bit more time myself to work things out, what I'm comfortable with. For this week, I'm still only comfortable with doing one-to-one lessons. I will be looking at a possibility of 4 or 5 people within the next week or so. The very young kids, I'm not going to be starting the very young kids in a group yet, but there will be some type of group offers, not this coming week, possibly the week after. That's where I'm up to with regards to coaching. Apart from that, all the same rules apply with regards to respecting people's space when you're down at the tennis club. You still have to use the booking system. That is absolute paramount. You still have to use the booking system. Now that we've got obviously a singles, box league and ladder going on, and a few other things, we're envisaging that the courts will be in use quite a lot. And the last thing is just with regards to what I said last week about like a summer membership. I can confirm that the tennis section has now in principle agreed the terms and conditions within the tennis section, so the tennis committee are happy with that. That's now going to be presented to the main club committee tomorrow night, that being Monday, via a Zoom meeting. And we're hoping pretty much Tuesday, the tennis section will be putting out some type of newsletter that'll kind of put all these guidance of what I'm talking about in writing to you, but also in that there will be something about this kind of summer membership for people that are at home, the other sections that can't reopen, like the squash and etc, etc. So look out for that. Just from my point of view, and the club's point of view, even though these restrictions, you know, get released more and more, can I just ask you to still just be very careful down the club. This is by no means back to normal. We you know, we're all sensible enough to know this is not a back to normal situation. It's good, but you know, I don't want to get down there and see people shaking hands or groups of people. That's just would be wrong. You know, if you look at the stats are getting better, but they're still not great. So as much as we're encouraging you to get out there now and have a game of singles and have a game of doubles, can I just really reiterate how important it is that the social distancing and the hand washing and the sanitizing and if you're not well, don't come to the club, and just all the things that you've been so brilliant through this first phase at doing and adhering to remains. You know, we're very vigilant of not overdoing it and putting out the sense that we're back to normal. We're not back to normal. So please just bear everything that you already know in mind with regards to this situation. We're getting there. Again, big thank you to everybody that has listened to what the tennis section have asked about the memberships and the non-members fees. Get playing your doubles as well as your singles now. Enjoy. Any questions, drop me a line.